Florida's state Senate president is getting criticism for a textbook he wrote for Brevard Community College. The college paid $150,000 to Mike Haridopolos, who's also running for U.S. Senator. Only one copy of the book was ever printed. But this is not the first time a powerful Florida lawmaker took a big paycheck from a public school.
As a Tea Party-supported politician, Mike Haridopolos rails against all but the most essential public spending. That's why his $152,000 deal to write a book that was never printed for students is raising eyebrows.
We would not pay our faculty to produce a book.
Hillsborough Community College spokeswoman Ashley Carl says our local system would never make this kind of deal. But Brevard Community College in 2003 gave Haridopolos, who was teaching there at the time, 4 years to write a book they said must be textbook quality, covering the wide range of Florida government from the present all the way back to pre-statehood. What they got, according to the Associated Press, was 175 pages, double-spaced, filled with advice on running for office, including tips like a cell phone will be essential.
I don't know of any other community college that has put someone on payroll to write a book that was an academic book.
University of Tampa political science professor Scott Payne says schools often bring high-achieving public figures on board as adjunct or guest professors, but the politicians are usually retired. Still, in 2008, Senator Haridopolos was also paid $75,000 by the University of Florida to teach a single class and spent much of his time in Tallahassee.
So here's a state university paying someone a very high salary, relatively speaking, for the qualifications and the work, who also happens to be in charge of the budget. That's a problem.
There are other examples. In 2008, Republican State Senator Evelyn Lynn secured $1 million of taxpayer money for a literacy center at Florida State University and was promptly hired to run it for $120,000 a year. She soon resigned under pressure. And former House Speaker Ray Sansom was paid $110,000 a year by Northwest Florida State College, allegedly in return for funneling millions in state money to the school. Sansom and the school's former president are under felony indictment.
One of the things that we are hearing a lot is that we need to be cutting the state budget, that we need to be spending less for people who are working for the state. But when we have people who are being paid out of that same fund and paid at a rate that's above the norm, and they're talking about other people taking cuts, that should trouble voters.
Well, there is nothing to suggest there's anything illegal about the book deal or the senator's employment at UF, though taxpayers may bristle at paying $152,000 for a single copy of a book. Haridopolos' office did not return our calls for comment. Brevard Community College officials say the book is useful and will soon be available to students online.